I guess I'll just press the other statements for now. If I have evidence, then I guess I'll have evidence. Already, I've noticed 2 contradictions in your testimony. My reasoning is flawless. It doesn't contain even a single contradiction. The number of contradictions has just increased to 3. Oh, I get it! This is all part of your plan to mislead me, isn't it? Well, too bad, because the best will not be led astray. That's it? Wow. So just to double check, his contradictions he was talking about are, number 1, you're not the best, and number 2, there are other people that can do what you do. Alright, if you believe Kay's the culprit, then I would like to hear the basis for your reasoning. Just sit back and be in awe of my brilliant deductions. Nothing escapes the watchful eye of the best. Therefore, before I'd even laid eyes on the crime scene, no, before I was even aware of this case, of course. Yes, I knew that she was the culprit. Yo! Yeah, that was deserving of a whoop, that's for sure. Finally, I have Franziska to put him in his place so he can stop running his goddamn mouth. He deserves that, really. He's been deserving that this whole thing. But you know who deserves it more? Justine. I really want to see Justine get hit by the whip. I know Justine's the kind of character that might intimidate her to just not do it, because she does that sometimes, but I really want to see Justine get whipped. I know that, you know, technically Justine's on the Prosecutor Investigation Committee, so you'd think that'd be a no-no to whip your supervisor, but even whipping another person in your workplace should be unallowed, so I mean, with Franziska, who can say if it's allowed or not. Anyways, basis of your reasoning. Yes, ma'am! Wow. Franziska didn't hurt you enough, so you had to hurt yourself more? Well... She broke into the meeting room in order to steal something. Okay, so I've been through all of these and I'm still not getting it. So apparently I have evidence. Torn off from the victim's clothes. Someone... Is it the key card? That's the only thing coming to me. She broke into the meeting room. How'd she do that? That was it? That was my first instinct, like when I saw the testimony. But I thought it was vague. Whatever. I worked on my first try. I shouldn't complain too much. It certainly sounds like you're quite familiar with this room. The best man for the job should know all about the best places. Unfortunately, it seems that you're not the best man for the job. Are you mocking me? Yeah, as always. Duh. Although this is the first time you caught on so quickly, isn't it? That's for you to decide. You didn't even know about this key card, did you? Of course I know about that. You need to enter this room. Huh? Was it really needed? This foolish fool simply doesn't know when to give up. Youch! Nice, that's a good whip. I liked that one. Sebastian, do you really suspect Kay? That's right, she's the only one who could have done it. Well then, allow me to ask you. Since this room can only be entered by using a key card, how did she enter the room without one? Mommy, Justine, help me! She probably used this and that, and, she could have used the key card, left it with the victim, and then left, right? Question mark? Oh, did you pull a muscle? Allow me to explain then. Actually, this reminds me of, Case 2 of Danganronpa 2. Edited that fairly recently, I guess. Well, recently, relatively speaking. I edited it since after. It was after I finished editing all of AAI that I was editing the Case 2 part, I'm pretty sure. I'm doing a motion with my hands, like, tangling them. But anyways, it reminds me of the whole part where it's like, they were all confused about how, you know, you can leave a door and then lock it from the outside and close it, because that's totally a thing you can do. And yet, for some reason, they didn't even think of that. Maybe Japanese doors are different. But, it reminds me of that. Like, are they going to say that... Although with this, it's a key card, so it's more believable that maybe the key card only, like, you need the key card going in and out, I suppose. I suppose that's possible. Anyways, that's more believable in this case. Anyways, I'm going on way too many tangents in this session. Oh my gosh. Did you pull a muscle? Allow me to explain then. The door could only be opened by members of the PIC, which means... Yes, that's correct. She conceded it so easily? Take a look at this. It's a record of the room that I investigated just a while ago. This room, that is. At 12:52 a.m., the door was opened using Miss Crane's key card. Okay. And what about at 10:15? Who opened it then? Question mark? Are you not going to tell us? Also, more ID cards. That reminds me of Case 5 of the first game, but I guess it's kind of okay. I mean, I know I normally don't like getting reminded, but it was kind of funny, the ID card lottery with the 77777s. I wonder if there's going to be anything like that in this case. It's probable that the killer entered the room together with the victim, Miss Crane. After entering, the situation must have soured, leading to the murder. Actually, there's some evidence to back that up. They clearly do know each other. Your logic holds, but is still merely conjecture. For once, there is some logic to her argument. Weird. And it would imply that the killer and the victim were acquainted. I don't know if she knows about the letter, but the letter does imply they're acquainted. Acquainted? Acquainted. No way, pal! Kay doesn't even know the victim. Actually, she kind of does. In some capacity. That is merely an assumption on your part. Unless you have any evidence to prove your claim. Actually, I have evidence to prove the other what? I can't think of the word. I have evidence to the contrary. I have evidence to prove the contrary, so that would be bad. Evidence is everything, in court and at the crime scene. Which is why it's weird that you show so little of it, Justine. God, I hate you. Without it, your argument's invalid, and yet your arguments are always just fine without it. Fuck you. In that case, I trust that you have evidence as well. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, some catfight action. I was waiting to see an interaction between these two. Because Justine really does feel like just a worse version of Franziska. To prove that Kay Faraday and the victim were connected. Of course. Oh? What? This letter. Oh! You have another copy of the letter with blood on it? Interesting. So there was 2 letters then. Was discovered by Dr. Young in Miss Crane's breast pocket. The victim's belongings? Why did she withhold such vital evidence until now? Maybe Justine told her to. Could it be she was waiting for the perfect time to reveal it? Oh. Oh, I thought she was saying why did the doctor conceal Anne? Come to think of it. And the candela brought out the fatal bro. Estimated time of death is late last night. Ah, okay. Oh, I see. He was about to, you know, reveal that. Alright. And that's why she stopped him. I see. Although you don't need a reason to stop Sebastian. I mean, really. I do appreciate your enthusiasm. Perhaps you should give your tongue a rest. It's time for me to enter bitch mode. You might pull a muscle. I'll read it for you. To Miss Crane, thank you so much for helping with my plan. Oh. Intriguing. Is this a setup by both people? Maybe the setup was to kill both of them, Jill and Kay. Someone was planning on killing both of them, and they fucked up and didn't actually kill Kay. I suppose. I'm glad that we can help each other get what we want. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Please get revenge for 12 years ago. Kay. Intriguinger and intriguinger. Revenge for 12 years ago. How old is Kay? This might substantiate my theory. She's 17. When did Deal 6 take place? Okay, this game takes place around the time of the 3rd game. And then Mia's first case, when was that? When was Mia's first case? Because Mia's first case was a little after the case 4 of AAI 1, right? So I'm trying to remember. I think it was 5 years ago was Mia's second case. Or no, it was more than that. 7 years ago. Question mark? I don't remember. Let's say, at most, it was maybe 8 years ago that that case happened. If that's the case, Kay would have been 9. 12 years ago, she would have been 5. Which means my theory is actually starting to hold some water. The question is, if Kay is saying this, then that means she would have had to get her memory switched again, but then switched again? That is intriguing. In other words, Kay Faraday and Miss Crane were accomplices. They probably planned to steal something from this room. Preposterous! Wait, that means the main culprit is... It's still Kay Faraday, of course. It just means her crimes have increased by yet one more. Victim's letter jotted down in the organizationer. Intriguing her. I'm the main culprit? Intriguing her. Addressed to the victim. This is probably a setup. I doubt that they actually sent letters to each other. What probably happened is someone knew about their past. Like, someone was related to it. Like, whatever happened before Kay's lost her memories, assuming she did as a child. And they knew Kay and Jill from way back when, and decided that maybe now was the time to exact their revenge, because maybe it's like an anniversary or something, or maybe they just found out the truth, and so they decided to try and kill both of them, and failed, but, yeah. Which means someone might still be trying to kill Kay. Anyways, I'm the main culprit? Don't believe her, Kay. It's all a bunch of nonsense. There's no way Kay would do something like that, pal. Nonsense, not at all. The evidence speaks for itself. Wouldn't you agree? There is some merit to the evidence, I suppose. Nugaga! I knew that they wouldn't suspect Kay unless they had some sort of proof, but... to think they would actually have such decisive evidence. Nicely done, Justine! Thank you very much. Don't have your bitch parade just yet. Your explanation is still insignificant. I cannot accept such an argument. Sebastian, would you please leave this to me? Mommy and Daddy have to speak now. Alright, make sure you shut Mr. Edgeworth once and for all. You know, the way I never can. Can't allow their allegations to gain any more momentum. I must turn it around here and now. Oh yeah, I'm still waiting for Franziska to object to Justine. That'll be great. The relationship between Kay Faraday and Miss Crane is as documented in this letter. She wrote Miss Crane into assisting her with her plan. However, for some reason, their partnership broke down. Miss Crane was murdered, but with her dying breath, she managed to retaliate. Her parting gift is this letter, which she tucked safely away in her left breast pocket. Her testimony was even better than ever. Maybe the most perfect it's ever been, sir. Even though I already saw a plot hole in it. Well, not plot hole, but contradiction. You gonna be alright, Mr. Edgeworth? I'll be fine. It's just Justine. She just has her bitchiness on her side. She's never actually been that smart. Oh, yes, of course. How unsightly, Miles Edgeworth. Save your stoic act for some other time. Miss Von Karma, just whose side are you on, pal? I'm on nobody's side, Scruffy. When searching for the truth, it's best not to take sides. She has a point. Although that's a line that you probably stole from Edgeworth. Watch what you say, Miss Von Karma, or else Mr. DeBestie is gonna... Best, you say? Well, I can tell you that the side I'm on is always the... Oh, okay, I missed that. Yeah, Franziska must have said, you know, being unbiased when searching for the truth is the best. So, okay. I missed the pickup on the best. Alright. How irritating. Well, I suppose that's one thing we can agree on. Yes. So good to have other characters that are on my side against the bestie. Now we just need Lang, and then we can have a gang-up party on how stupid these two are. Anyways, the letter from Kay. The relationship between Kay Faraday and Miss Crane is as documented. She wrote Miss Crane to assisting her with her plan. However, for some reason, their partnership broke down. I'm curious about this. For some reason, you say. It seems your explanation isn't very clear. I'm sure the reason will become clear upon further investigation. But more importantly, there is no evidence to prove that Kay Faraday did not commit this crime. While there is some evidence to suggest that she committed a crime, none of it can truly be called decisive evidence. What about the letter that shows their complicity and the scene of the crime? I think it's fair to say we cannot decisively rule out the possibility that she committed the crime. I suppose. Miss Crane was murdered, but with her dying breath. Okay, this is also very suspect. Retaliate how? Do you have any evidence to prove that Kay was the murderer? Haven't you been listening? We've been saying that this letter is the evidence. Oh, and where in the letter does it say that she planned to murder the victim? Well, that's, I've got it! It's a hidden message written in invisible ink that can only be read by heating it up! That's from the freaking... Oh, that's, what was it? National Treasure? Yeah, that's what it was called. That was a fun movie. I liked it. Number 2 was kind of wishy-washy. It was kind of just repetitive. But I like the first one a lot. Nick Cage is usually, it's funny, Nick Cage is a fun actor, but in a lot of movies, he has a really serious role, even though he's usually at his best when he's fun. Like, Face Off, when he's evil, the small amount of time that he's evil is really cool. But anyways. Sebastian, I wouldn't get your hopes up for something like that. There is, of course, evidence that points towards the criminal. Her parting gift is this letter, which she tucked safely away in her left breast pocket. Okay. What are your thoughts? I don't think that Kay wrote this letter. But unless I can draw out more information here, that thought means nothing. In other words, press stuff. Gotcha. You should start by pressing her for more details. Very well. Relationship between his document and his letter.